What's up, guys? Rob Kuhn here, and today we're going to review a wild hand that happened at the Hustler Casino where the blinds are 200, 400, 200 big blind ante with a straddle to 6,000. Yes, you heard that right. A straddle under the gun to 6,000 from Alan Keating. Let's go ahead and get into the action.
Are we going to have a special guest come in the seat one here in a little while?
Are we? Is he really special, or he just?
No, he's not special.
Okay.
But you know who he is. Not special.
Action folds around to the cutoff to Handz, who has ace-10 suited, just makes it a little over 2x to 13,000.
See if you guys could guess.
Hold on a second.
What?
Okay, so there's a $6,000 straddle in there, I believe.
Really?
Well, yeah, because Handz just raised to 13K. And the pot is 19. Well, who do you think did it? Who else is going to?
With so much dead money in the pot, Stan has a very, very easy decision, as Handz could easily just be stealing with perhaps a inferior ace, as he has here. And 8 big blinds. This is kind of just playing like a tournament at this point with so much dead money in the middle. This is a very, very easy shove.
Who at this table would straddle the $6,000?
All right. Shame on me for saying that.
That's basically what Elon wants to do. What is it?
Yeah. I'm.
Wesley playing about 21 big blinds effective since the straddle was 6,000 and raised 13,000 also has a very, very easy shove. I don't like to see either of these calls.
Fine with Stanley playing this hand, but I think if you're going to play it on a $49,000 stack, just ship it.
You got to ship it,
right?
You got to ship it. You cannot call here with that stack. What are you going to do? Where are you going? You just got to ship it.
I mean, what's he going to do when the flop comes out? 7 high.
Keating looks at 9-3 suited from the $6,000 straddle with 7,000 more to go and decides to opt to call.
That's what I'm saying. You got to ship now and hope to take it down, and then maybe bink it if someone calls.
Wesley is in a much more precarious spot because he's got 121,000 behind.
Yeah, here's exact to your point.
10 high flop. How good does Handz run, huh?
Yeah.
Alan's got a pair of 3s.
Wow, this guy looked like he just won a Super Bowl.
Turn Spirit Airlines into like
I know the Packers didn't win a Super Bowl. Did they? No. They
I'd buy insurance from the guy, I'll tell you that much.
all business class.
He's Canadian, he's nice. All Canadians are nice, right?
Just like cut out some of the aisles so it's like triple the leg room. All private cabins.
And Handz is going to bet 18,000. I'm not.
Action folds around to Handz, who flops top with the backdoor flush draw and decides to bet 18,000 into 52,000, something like 1/3. This is actually a very good size in multi-way pots. You never really go for big sizing, so this is very good by Handz.
Convinced that Alan's going to fold so quickly.
Well, I mean, for crying out loud, he's got a pair of 3s. Why would he fold?
Stanley's just going to. I don't know.
Well,
if you get a surcharge on your DoorDash tomorrow, you know why.
Leslie's the only one in the hand left. Stanley was already out.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, okay.
But he looks like he's just, the inner monologue going.
Alan with a pair of 3s and the backdoor flush draw decides to call. I think this is quite reasonable. I don't really see any reason to fold.
On right there in Stanley's head. Alan does call, by the way. This pot's $88,000, and yes, the cards are correct.
Well, look at this.
Alan has just picked up a flush draw.
Oh, boy.
4-5, by the way, got there. That's a hand that he might try to rep. Right. I want to see what Handz does here with top pair, top kicker. 4-5 got there. He beats all the other 10s. Alan would love to see a turn, but does he check raise? Does he check raise with a pair of 3s and a flush draw?
Well,
Handz
it depends if Handz bets. Again, he's good.
He does bet. That's a big size.
Yeah.
He bets 42,000.
Well, he kind of needed to. He can't see Alan's cards, but
right. Alan getting 3-1 basically.
Aaron Rodgers against the next Dexter.
Oh my God! just stop. Just stop. I'm going to send you down.
Look at the looks he gives.
I'm going to send you down to the table too.
He's the next Dexter, but maybe in real life.
This might be my last show, guys. I might get fired, so I apologize in advance. It's a 27% chance that I get fired tonight.
Look at how he looks
Alan
at
with
his
a pair of
opponents.
3s and a flush draw. Here's the question. Does he think he has showdown value? Does he think he needs to turn his hand into a bluff?
So after a lot of deliberation, Alan rather, decides to go ahead and go for the call. As Tuckman was asking, perhaps he goes for the check shove, and I don't agree with check shoving. Check shoving only accomplishes someone to call with a better hand. I don't think Handz is necessarily going to always bet his ace-high flush draws or his king-high flush draws, which, of course, that would be a very good scenario for Alan. Betting into three players on the flop and then betting the turn shows a lot of strength. So if I'm Alan here, I'm just simply going for the call, going for the river, hoping to hit a 3, perhaps a heart, a 9, and going from there. I don't think check shoving accomplished anything on the turn.
I'm kind of more worried about Alan sticking a needle in my neck and putting me to sleep than I am actually playing poker against him. Just be honest.
I don't know if I want to play poker against this guy either. He's a monster.
He's a monster.
He does call.
Ugh.
Check.
Yeah, not a good river
up,
if you're
yeah.
Alan. It's not even a good bluff card either.
I mean, we can see the cards, but that's Handz is prepared to put in all his chips here.
130.
130.
Wow.
He might get called.
Wow.
Does Alan ever put him on ace king or ace queen? Or does he call?
With that bet, he may.
Let's hear this one out. This pot is 302,000. Handz has bluffed before. A couple of big bluffs.
Big time.
Alan knows that.
And he bluffed Alan.
Yeah. He also tried to
Well,
bluff.
he got snapped off. But.
Right. He also tried to bluff Ben. That didn't work. He's down on the night. Alan knows that.
He's thinking about it.
He absolutely is.
Tuck.
So Alan's actually faced a very interesting decision. I didn't know the context behind this, but apparently Handz has made several big bluffs, including against Keating. So he knows a lot more information than I do, as I was not watching this stream. The problem is with Alan's hand is he kind of doesn't really have a good hand to call with. He's going to have hands like 5-6. He's going to have hands like 6-4. He's going to have 10x. He's just going to have a lot better hands to call with than a 3. You essentially have the very stone cold bottom of your range, unless you have something like ace-4 of hearts or ace-5 of hearts. That is simply just ace-high that turned a lot of equity. So let's go ahead and see what Alan ends up doing.
Stanley was in there, Wesley was in there, and Alan was in there. Is he really doing that with ace-king against those players? People in the chat wondering, is Alan actually good? I think he is. I think Alan can play poker. And I think Alan can play poker pretty well.
1,000%. I wasn't sure of that the first 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But he knows where he's at. He's going to put it in, I think, man. Oh, my God. It looked like he was putting it in.
He's a master at creating a great image and then capitalizing on it. Let's hear him.
I take the next one. One more. Are you happy with your hand?
Nobody's happy with yours.
As someone who's actually played with Keating a lot, he does a lot of speech playing. He's very, very good at it. If you are a recreational and you're playing a more experienced player, I would definitely not engage in speech play, as guys who play a lot can definitely pick up on things. So this is just general good advice. Just don't answer. Do what Handz is doing. Stare at the board. I don't know if Handz is recreational or not. I don't know much about the guy. I couldn't Google him, but do exactly what Handz is doing. Just give nothing away. Don't answer questions. Focus and pray that they call.
I think he calls.
Looks like he's leaning that way.
He's just not a believer.
Tuck, did Handz do this because he thinks he may not have the best hand?
No, he thinks he has the best hand.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt he thinks he has the best hand.
There it goes.
There's the call.
I have a 10. Dirty. Wow.
Handz recognizes that there's just not enough hands that possibly beat him on the river, and then goes for the very big value bet, something like 75-80% pot. After much deliberation, Keating does decide that Handz is very capable and just can simply have enough bluffs. Now, this is one of those situations where you just kind of have to know your opponent. If your opponent is simply over bluffing this spot, then you kind of probably have to make more loose calls than what theory would say. I don't know the context between the players here. Keating would know this a little bit more than I would. But Keating does end up calling, getting the bad news, and Handz does get a little bit of revenge from that $1.2 million pot.